Hello everyone, welcome to Emily's Craft and Crochet. I'm Emily and we are going to make these cute little squids. And you can see this one I put little tiny eyes. This one has big eyes. If you don't have any of these plastic eyes, you can sew eyes on yourself with some yarn. Aren't they cute? So let's get started. Now, I think these are just a little bit different size because of the yarn that I used. Maybe one was Red Heart and one could have been Mainstay. Those are the two brands I usually buy. Today, I have just this little ball. Cat hair's free here because I have cats. And I'm going to hope that this little ball is enough to make one of these little guys. And I think it should be. So, I have a 3.0 millimeter crochet hook. I know that this calls for a 5 millimeter, but I want to use a smaller one just because I want my stitches to be nice and tight. Okay, so I'm just going to try to get a little bit of yarn off of here since it is a ball. And we are going to do a magic circle to start. If you don't know how to do a magic circle, you can chain one and go into that chain. I like to do a magic circle so I can pull it nice and tight because I don't want any opening up here on the top. I do have some markers here. And so if you don't have markers, you can use a piece of yarn that's a different color so that you can see it. I have been known to use earrings. So I'm going to take my yarn and I'm just going to wrap it around my finger. And I'm going to cross it right like this. Okay. Take my needle, my crochet hook. I'm going to take it under here and I'm going to grab that piece of yarn that's just laying over there. And I'm going to pull it underneath. Put my finger right here and hold it. See? Now I'm going to take my two fingers. I'm going to hold where it comes together. Now I can just pull this a little tight. And I'm going to chain one. When you're using this small of a crochet hook, sometimes you got to be really careful that you get all the strands because sometimes you'll only grab a couple. So you just have to take your time. If you decide you want to use a bigger crochet hook, you'll have a larger squid and your stitches might not be as tight. It will still come out. So now we are going to do 8 single crochets in this ring. This does not count as anything. So we're just going to pull our yarn up, grab it, and pull it through. We're going to do that a total of 8 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So now I'm just going to take my little piece of yarn here, my little tail, and I'm going to pull it tight. Oops. Pull it really tight. There we go. So now you can see that we have a nice circle. I think I had this yarn stashed with my stuffing, so I have a lot of little things I've been pulling off. Okay. So now I'm going to start counting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to go into that. I'm going to go that stitch. I'm going to go under 2 strands of yarn. I'm going to grab my yarn. I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to continue to finish a single crochet. Now I'm going to get my marker and I'm going to go right underneath that stitch. I'm going to go underneath both strands, excuse me, and I'm going to put my marker here because this is where I start each row. So the next row, we are going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch. So I have one here. That's the one where I put my marker. I'm going to go right into that same stitch and I'm going to do a single crochet. Now we want to continue to do 2 single crochets in each stitch. I have a really hard time not trying to keep trying not to make these stitches too tight. We're just going to do this in real time. I'm not going to speed it up or anything, so that you can see that it does not take much time at all. Oops. To finish one of these little squids. Alrighty, I've went around, did 2 single crochets in each stitch. I should have 16. I'm not going to count them. I don't count my stitches when I use my stitch marker usually. So now you can see right here, this is our first stitch. So before I even decide what I'm going to do, do in the next row, I like to go in there, do 1 single crochet, and put my stitch marker on. There we are. I have 1 single crochet ready for my next round. The next round, we're going to do 1 single crochet in a stitch, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets in the next stitch so that we can increase. So we have our 1 single crochet here already with our stitch marker. So the next stitch, we are going to do 2 single crochets. Then the next one, we're going to do 1. Next stitch, we're going to go in and do 2. Make sure that you're going underneath both strands of this V. One, and then I'm going to do 2. 1, 2, 1, and then 2. This would be great to use with little balls of yarn that you don't have very much left. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and then 2. So I end it with 2 stitches, 2 single crochets in that last stitch. So you should have 24 stitches on this round, if you counted. So now round 4 through 7, we are going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch. So we can count. We know we're on row 4, so we should have 3 rows on here. So this first one right here, and I'm going to count on this side, not this side, but this side of your stitch marker. I have 1, 2, 3. So this is going to be row 4. So now you know that you can count your rows, because on row 7, when you have 7 here, you're going to stop here and we're going to start row 8. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to take my stitch marker off. I'm going to do my single crochet, and I'm going to put my stitch marker right back on. 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to do 4 rows. As you are doing your single crochets, you are going to notice that it's going to start turning. Or I'm not turning. It's turning into your little squid. It's going to start rolling, which is always exciting. This is going to be a very unique color. And of course, if you used a very thin yarn, these squids would be even smaller. These little squids, I was thinking about making keychains out of them, or just selling them like they are. I have made larger ones for my craft sale, and I'll tell you, I went out of town to a craft sale, and like sold them all out. They were so cute. I don't sell them for very much because it doesn't take me too much to make them. If you get on Amazon, I got this whole packet of eyes for like $10. My daughter bought them for me. And so I got a big bag of these on Temu. So I'm here. That was my first row of single crochets. I'm going to take my stitch marker off and do my single crochet and put it back on. Oops. I shot that baby. And this will be my second row. This little guy looks like he might be bigger than the green one. I don't even know what type of yarn this is. When I do these, I usually do not crochet this fast because I like to enjoy it, but just for the sake of the video, I'm crocheting fast. And then I'll be exhausted. I don't crochet fast anymore. I crochet pretty slow. My grandma used to tell me that I crocheted so fast. She couldn't believe it. That's my 4 or 5. I think that was my 6th row. The stitch marker is very important to help you keep track. So, like I said, if you don't have a stitch marker, you can just put a piece of yarn there. I like to use my earrings. I have bought just the flip part of the earring and put beads on it and used them also. They work perfect. I hope this color is working well with the camera. So let's go ahead and count, see how many rows we have. going to count on this side of the stitch marker. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my goodness. I was just crocheting along, wasn't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is row 8. So this is where we're going to make the bottom here come in a little bit, so that when we put these little tentacles or feet, whatever, it kind of goes down in a little bit. Because if you weren't to decrease here, it just would not look right. This is where we're going to start our decrease row. So I have my first single crochet where my stitch marker is. The next one we're going to do a decrease. So we're going to put our yarn into the next stitch under both strands. We're going to pull our yarn up. Then you're going to put it right into the next stitch, pull your yarn up. You have 3 strands on your hook and you're going to pull it all the way through. That is a decrease. So now the next stitch we are going to go into, we're going to just do a single crochet. The next, and this might feel a little tight, but make sure that you keep it nice and taut. So we're going to go into the next stitch, pull it up, next stitch, pull it up, grab your yarn and pull it through all 3. That is a decrease. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I got stuffing over here and I think I had this yarn stashed with that stuffing. And the next stitch, we're going to do 1 single crochet. Next stitch, we're going to pull our yarn up and bring the loop through. Go right into the next stitch, pull your yarn up and pull it through. You have 3 on your hook. And go all 3 of them. Go through all 3, and that's how you do your decrease. The next one, we're going to do a single crochet. The next 2, we're going to go into the first one, pull your yarn up. Go into the next one, pull your yarn up. You have 3 strands on your hook. Pull it through all 3. And you're just going to continue to do that all the way around. So I ended with a decrease. Okay. So now we're going to start our tentacles. Our little tentacles, feet, whatever you want to call them. So I'm going to take my stitch marker off. And I'm going to go into that stitch and I'm going to do a slip stitch. Okay. So we don't need to use the stitch marker for this row, only because we're going to do the tentacles and we'll definitely be able to see where we started. So we're just going to chain 4. We're going to go into the next stitch. So this is the stitch that you did your slip stitch. You chained 4. You're going to go into the next stitch. Do a slip stitch where you're going to pull it all the way through. And we're going to chain 4. We're going to go into the next stitch and we're going to do a slip stitch and we're going to chain 4. We're going to go into the next stitch, do a slip stitch where you pull it all the way through and you're going to chain 4. And you're going to continue to do that all the way around. We're here at the end. And I'm going to do my last slip stitch. I'm going to put into that very last one. And now we have our little tiny tentacles. And so it's curving down and it looks really nice. So now we're going to do this row and then we're going to stuff it. We won't need our stitch marker for this row because we'll know where we're at when we get here. Okay, we're going to start crocheting on the inside. So when you look on the inside here, in the middle, in between each of these tentacles, that's where we're going to go in. Okay, I just put the tentacle down, and you can see there's a stitch there, and I'm just going to do a single crochet. Pull my tentacles down, go into the next one, go in that stitch, and I'm going to do a single crochet. I'm going to do that all the way around. It's not hard to find. You just pull it, and you can see that stitch. And I'm just going to go into it. Just take your time. This is also going to draw the bottom a lot closer because it's almost like you're skipping a stitch. If it gives you a problem, force your way in there. Okay. This is probably the longest part, is just making sure that you get in between each one of those little tentacles. Okay, I'm almost to the end here. This is my last one. So like we did on the other ones, we're going to go into, well, you can see here, it kind of looks like you have a lump, right? So just go right over it to your first single crochet and just do a single crochet. Now we're ready to pick up our marker and put our marker right there in that single crochet like we did before. Okay. Looking good. Okay, you know what? I think we're going to do one more row before we stuff. Oh, we better put the eyes in. Oh my goodness. We could have did the eyes before we did the tentacles. Oh my goodness. It's not fun when you forget the eyes. Okay. This would be a great time. You probably would have wanted to sew the eyes on before you got this far. So I'm going to put my eyes in. And I think I'm going to choose green because I think they'll stand out really nice. These are really nice eyes. I put them in and then I have a backing. And they stand really well. Oh yeah, green's a good color. It will bring out the green in the yarn also. I apologize if I sound a little hoarse today. Okay. One green eye, where I'm going to put the other one. This one, the eyes seemed a little too close. I really like the way these came out. So maybe 2 in between, 2 stitches in between. That looks pretty good. And so when I put them in, you put them in this way so that it kind of cups it and holds it in place. It's really not this tough. I just dropped it. Okay. See how that one is? First time I got these, I'd never seen someone put them on. I put them on backwards. There we go. And then you just push them down. It's not really hard at all. I love these eyes. They're kind of hypnotizing. It really makes it look like they're looking at you. All right, let's close this up. It came in this really nice container too. Alrighty. So we're ready to start closing him up. I think we're going to do one more row and then we'll stuff him. You can do whatever you'd like. But I like to have my fingers inside when I'm crocheting. Okay. Our next row, we're going to do decreases. So we're going to go right into the next stitch, and we're going to pull our yarn up, go into the next one, pull our yarn up, grab our yarn, and take it through. We are going to do that all the way around. You can see it's getting closed up. It's exactly what we want. Starting to get tight here. Just be patient and move your the body of your squid around. See how I'm putting my finger in there and just moving them around. So I'm here at the end. Let's pull my yarn up. Look at there. He's so cute. So you have a small hole. So we're going to go ahead and stuff him. Like I said, you could have stuffed him anytime you wanted. I like to wait till I get it pretty closed up. Just to get my finger in there so I can feel if there's any empty spots. Because I like them to be nice and I want them to be firm, I guess, is what I want to say. Okay, I think that's enough. Oh my goodness, I'm really happy with this color. I'm really happy. This green's my favorite color. I really love this green too. And they're so soft and squishy. All right, let's get this done. So now, this is going to be our last row. Okay, so let's go ahead and take this marker off. I'm going to go ahead and go into that first stitch and do a single crochet. Why do I keep seeing a long hair? Ugh. When you get old, you lose hair. And you know what? It's not fun when they come out gray. Okay. I'm going to put my marker right here. My first single crochet, just like we've been doing the whole entire time. This is our last row. So when we get around to this, we'll just tie it off. So we're going to do another row of all decreases. Okay. All the way around. This last one's pretty tricky, but with this small crochet hook, I think it really helps. So now I'm going to take my marker off. You can see that there's not very much room here. So you could like end this, go just pull it through and end it and sew it. I am just going to take my yarn. Okay, I chained one. And I'm just going to go through these two here. Okay, let me get closer. This is what you have. I chained one. I'm just going to go into this stitch all the way across to the other side. I'm going to pull my yarn up. Whoops, I'm going to do a slip stitch. I'm going to pull it tight. And I'm going to tie a knot. Two knots. Take my scissors, cut off some yarn. I'm going to go up to the back of his head. Put my hook in there. I'm going to come up right close to where it was at, right, well, where the knot's at. I'm going to grab it. Sometimes I can only grab one piece at a time. I'm going to pull it in. I'm going to pull it nice and tight in there. And then when I come out, you gotta be really careful, because sometimes you'll get some of the stuff and then comes out, and I just get a crochet hook and just stuff it in there. So you can't see where you came out. Now, he's done. Just gonna push this in because I would like to have him flat on the bottom. And he's done. He can sit down very nicely with his friends. Oh, they're so cute. Aren't they adorable? I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It took 35 minutes. We did it from beginning to end. And I hope you give it a try. You guys have a great day. Stay safe, and I will be back soon. Thank you. Bye.